If your life suddenly feels uncomfortable, restless, and out of place, it's not because you're falling apart. It's because God is quietly positioning you. There are seasons when life starts rearranging itself around you, and you can't explain why. People shift, opportunities close. Your routines feel too small, like clothes that suddenly don't fit. You look at your life, and it's as if an invisible hand is moving pieces on a board you thought you controlled. Part of you is restless, part of you is scared, and part of you is quietly asking, what is happening to me? What if you're not falling apart at all, but being positioned? What if the shaking, the stretching, the heavy discomfort you feel are really the first signs that God is aligning your steps with the destiny He dreamed for you before you even existed? This message is for the ones who feel like something invisible is shifting beneath their feet. On the outside, nothing looks dramatically wrong. You still have a job, some friends, responsibilities, but on the inside, your spirit will not sit still. The places that used to satisfy you feel strangely hollow. The conversations that once entertained you now sound noisy and thin. You stand in the middle of your own life with a question pressed against your ribs. Why do I feel like I'm being moved somewhere I can't see? Maybe lately doors have been closing that you were sure would open. An opportunity that looked perfect fell through for reasons that made no sense. People you thought would be permanent in your story have grown distant or quietly stepped away. Routines that once felt safe now feel suffocating, like you're trying to breathe under a blanket that has grown too heavy. You might be tempted to label this as failure, punishment, or some kind of cosmic mistake. But what if what you're calling falling behind is actually God repositioning you? What if the delay, the discomfort, the rearranging are not proof that He has forgotten you, but evidence that He is preparing you for something your current surroundings cannot handle? When heaven is getting ready to position you for destiny, it rarely looks glamorous at first. It looks like restlessness. It looks like not fitting where you used to fit. It looks like being pulled away from some tables so you can eventually sit at others. This message matters because destiny is not just about where you end up. It is about who you become along the way. God is not only interested in getting you to a place, He is shaping you into a person who can carry what waits there. That shaping is often subtle. It's in the quiet conviction you feel when you laugh at things that wound your spirit. It's in the way certain environments now drain you faster than they used to. It's in the growing desire for depth, truth, and purpose that will not go back to sleep, no matter how much you try to distract yourself. If you've been feeling off in familiar spaces, if the old version of your life can no longer hold the weight of who you're becoming, that tension is not the enemy. It is a sign. It is heaven tugging at your sleeve, whispering, "You cannot stay here. I am positioning you." Destiny does not arrive with fireworks. It arrives with quiet separation, holy discomfort, and a gentle but insistent pull toward more than you planned for yourself. You may not have language for it yet, but your spirit recognizes when something larger is at work. These signs are subtle but real, and if you notice them, you can walk with God's positioning instead of resisting it. Imagine someone whose life has always made sense on paper. They have a plan, a path, a circle. For years, their story moves in straight lines. School, work, relationships, familiar routines. They know who they are in those spaces. But then, without warning, something inside begins to shift. The job that once felt like a blessing now feels like a cage. The conversations that once felt exciting now feel strangely flat. The version of themselves that used to fit neatly into every room suddenly feels too big for the walls around them, as if their soul has quietly outgrown the life they built. Then the external shifts begin. A promotion they were sure about goes to someone else. An opportunity that looked perfect collapses without a clear reason. An email arrives with a polite, "We've decided to move in a different direction." A relationship they leaned on grows distant. Invitations slow down. Plans fall through. On the surface, it looks like loss. Inside, it feels like rejection and confusion. They pray, "God, why are you letting everything fall apart right when I thought I was finally stable?" What they cannot see yet is that heaven is not sabotaging them. Heaven is repositioning them. The job that feels like a cage is exposing buried gifts that cannot stay trapped there. The boredom they feel in certain conversations is revealing a hunger for depth and purpose that their current circle cannot satisfy. The closed doors are not random. They are God's way of saying, if I let this open, you would settle for good when I have called you to more. Destiny will not let you stay where convenience would gladly keep you. So positioning rarely begins with a spotlight. It begins with dissonance. God disturbs the false piece of the life you built without fully consulting him. He does not do this to shame you, but to awaken you. If you never felt the discomfort, you would never question the limits you placed on your own story. You would keep calling survival, success, and busyness purpose, never realizing you were standing in the hallway of what was meant to be a mansion. So he lets the floorboards creak under the weight of your calling, until you can no longer pretend that business as usual is working. As time passes, our character begins to notice patterns. Every time they try to return to the old rhythms, something blocks them. Opportunities that would have kept them small keep slipping away. People who once applauded every version of them now grow uneasy when they talk about calling or obedience. The more they say yes to the tug of God on their heart, the clearer it becomes that some rooms cannot hold who they are becoming. It is as if God is quietly narrowing their environment so he can enlarge their inner life, making space for a destiny that will demand all of who they really are. One night, sitting alone in their car after yet another event where they felt out of place, they finally stop blaming themselves and ask a different question. God, is this you? It is a terrifying thought, because if the answer is yes, this is not a season they can escape by working harder or pretending not to care. It means they are being moved. In the stillness, stories they have heard for years rise to the surface. Joseph taken from home into Egypt, David anointed, yet sent back to sheep, Esther lifted from obscurity into a palace she never asked for. In every story, there is a chapter where life makes no sense from the ground, but perfect sense from heaven. Slowly, they realize they have stepped into that chapter. Their restlessness is not random. It is a signal. Their closed doors are not curses. They are redirections. Their shrinking circle is not proof that they are unlovable. It is God narrowing their influences so he can speak more clearly. And this becomes one of the clearest signs that God is positioning you. Staying small becomes more painful than risking obedience. The discomfort of moving forward is still real, but the discomfort of staying put becomes unbearable. In that holy tension, destiny is quietly taking shape, even before you have words for it. When God begins positioning you for your destiny, he does more than move the external pieces of your life. He begins by rearranging the internal landscape of your heart. Before he shifts your location, he shifts your appetite. You find yourself losing the taste for conversations that revolve around comparison, drama, or distraction. You start craving truth, depth, and authenticity. You notice that your soul feels heavier when you pretend and lighter when you are honest, even if honesty costs you comfort. These are not random mood swings. They are spiritual signals that your story is being recalibrated. One of the clearest signs is holy frustration. You may still be doing what you have always done, same job, same city, same circle, but something in you refuses to be satisfied with just getting by. You could stay where you are and coast, but a voice inside keeps asking, is this really all you were made for? That question is not there to condemn you. It is there to wake you. God will let certain successes feel empty so you don't build your life around something too small for the weight of your purpose. There is also a reordering of priorities. Activities that once occupied your evenings without a second thought now feel like a waste of breath. You sense a pull to invest your time differently, to learn, to create, to serve, to prepare. You find yourself reading books you would have ignored before, drawn to mentors you used to think were too intense, compelled to pray not just when you are in crisis, but because your spirit feels restless when you don't. Your schedule begins to rearrange itself around what strengthens your soul instead of what numbs it. Relationships start to sift as well, not always through dramatic fallouts, but through slow, undeniable drift. Some people are gently moved to the outer edges of your life. Conversations grow shorter. Text threads cool. You may mourn this, and it is okay to grieve. Yet if you look closely, you will notice a pattern. The people fading are often the ones who cannot see beyond who you have been, while the ones drawing nearer are those who speak to who you are becoming. God is not erasing your history, but He is protecting your future. Positioning also shows up in unexpected invitations. A small opportunity appears that doesn't look impressive on the outside, but something in you knows, I'm supposed to say yes to this. Maybe it is serving in a hidden place, taking a class that stretches you, starting a small project that no one else understands. It feels minor, but peace follows your obedience. Later you realize that simple yes became a hinge that swung open doors you didn't even know existed. Destiny often enters through side doors, not grand entrances. And then there is the way God begins to speak to you about identity. He puts His finger on the labels you've worn for years. Too much, not enough, background character, supporting role, and gently confronts them through scripture, through quiet impressions, through timely encouragement. He keeps bringing you back to the truth that you are not an accident, not a filler person in someone else's story, but a carefully crafted answer to a specific need in your generation. The more you agree with that truth, the less you are willing to stay in places that require you to shrink. None of this means the process feels clean or linear. Some days you will question everything. Some days you will want to run back to what is familiar, even if it made you small. But even on those days, pay attention. Can you still fit there the way you used to? Or does your soul bump up against invisible walls? That resistance is mercy. God is loving you too much to let you live beneath your design. Ultimately, positioning is God's way of making sure that when destiny knocks, you are not only in the right place, but you are the right person. He is not rushing you. He is rooting you. He is stretching your faith, deepening your capacity, healing your patterns, and shifting your desires so that when the moment comes, you won't mistake your calling for a coincidence. You will recognize it, because everything in you will say, I was made for this. There comes a moment, often in an ordinary day, when all the scattered pieces begin to line up. You are not on a mountaintop or in a stadium. Maybe you are on a bus, in your kitchen, sitting on the edge of your bed. Life feels in between, no longer what it was, not yet what it will be. You scroll past other people's highlight reels and feel that familiar sting of, why not me? Then, unexpectedly, someone sits across from you and starts telling a story that sounds uncomfortably like your own. They talk about doors closing, about friends drifting, about feeling misplaced in rooms that used to feel like home. They confess that they are scared God is punishing them, or that they have somehow ruined His plan. As you listen, something deep inside you wakes up. Their words pull up memories you thought you had buried. The night you cried in your car, the email that shattered your plans, the long stretch of quiet where heaven felt far. For a moment, you are back there, small, confused, aching. But when you open your mouth to respond, something different comes out. You don't offer cliches. You don't say, it will all work out, and move on. Instead, you hear yourself saying, slowly and carefully, what if this isn't God rejecting you? What if it's God repositioning you? What if these closed doors and lonely stretches are proof that He is getting you ready for something your old life could not hold? As you speak, you realize you are not guessing. You are describing your own journey. You tell them how the pain forced you to listen for God's voice in new ways, how the silence stripped away your dependence on applause, how the loss of certain relationships made space for better ones you hadn't met yet. You share how the desires in your heart changed, how a hunger for purpose grew louder than your fear of people's opinions. While you talk, you watch their shoulders drop, their breathing slow, their eyes soften with the first hint of hope they've felt in a long time. When the conversation ends and you are alone again, a strange awareness settles over you. The very season you once begged God to take away has now become the oil you pour over someone else's wounds. The questions that almost broke you have become answers you can hand to another trembling soul. You start to see your own story with new eyes. What felt like pointless delay was precise preparation. What felt like abandonment was careful positioning. For the first time, you whisper with trembling gratitude, "God, you are not just moving me, you were making me ready." And in that realization, something in you shifts. You are no longer just enduring your process. You are partnering with it, knowing every step has been guided, not wasted. If you are in that in-between space right now, no longer who you were, not yet sure who you are becoming, hear this clearly. You are not broken beyond repair, and you are not lost. You are being positioned. It may not look like it from where you stand. It may feel like all you have are closed doors, fading friendships, and a restlessness you can't explain. Yet from heaven's vantage point, there is a careful, intentional hand on every piece of your life, aligning you with a destiny that is bigger and holier than anything you would have chosen on your own. You are allowed to admit that it hurts. You are allowed to say that you miss the simplicity of the old season, the comfort of fitting in, the ease of not being stretched. God is not threatened by your honesty. He is not asking you to pretend this is easy. He is asking you to trust that it is purposeful. The shaking you feel is not random. It is God loosening your grip on lesser things so your hands will be free when greater things arrive. So pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the holy discomfort that will not let you stay where you used to be satisfied. Pay attention to the quiet pull toward depth and truth. Pay attention to the relationships that fade and the unexpected connections that feel strangely right. Pay attention to the opportunities that die for no clear reason and the small, hidden assignments that carry a peace you can't explain. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Together they form the map of how God is positioning you. You do not have to see the whole picture to take the next faithful step. Destiny is rarely revealed all at once. It unfolds as you walk, one obedient yes at a time. Say yes to the inner work He is doing in you. Say yes to the doors He is clearly opening, even if they look small. Say yes to releasing what no longer fits, even when your heart trembles. The same God who is strong enough to rearrange your life is gentle enough to walk beside you in every uncertain moment. One day, you will look back on this chapter with a clarity you don't have today. You will see how the delays protected you, how the losses redirected you, how the loneliness drove you deeper into the heart of God. You will see that you were never wandering. You were being led. And when you finally stand in the place you were made for, you will recognize it, not because it is perfect or easy, but because something in you will whisper, with tears in your eyes, this is what all of it was for. In that moment, you will know deep down that God has been positioning you all along.